Hey guys, I don't know if you've ever struggled with consistency, but if you're someone who is struggling to remain consistent, struggling to continue to work towards your goal or your dream in life, I want to share a little bit about my struggle and, two things that I didn't know and didn't understand, but once I did, it completely changed the game for me. It was a complete game changer in the area of consistency. My background has always been start and stop. Start really strong, burst out the gate, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of optimism, and then soon at some point I would fizzle out whenever I was met with adversity, when I was met with resistance, and I would always start over. I would always, take the classic 2 steps forward and then, 2 steps back. And the 2 things that I didn't understand initially, number one was that consistency is a kind of power. By definition, power is the capacity, the ability to move something from one place to another. And through consistency, we actually can create a kind of power that moves us from where we are to where we want to be. You know how they say, you build brick by brick, right? Piece by piece, 1 step at a time, right? Every journey, right? But they say the journey of 1,000,000 steps, 1,000,000 miles, right? Starts with 1 step. And so nothing is overnight. There is no overnight success. Everything is a culmination, right? An accumulation, right? Of steady steps and consistency over time. And so that is a kind of power. That is a kind of capacity that you create through your consistency to move you and your circumstances from where you are to where you want to be. And so early on, guys, I didn't know that consistency literally is a power. It's a powerhouse, man. It's a game changer. Rarely, if someone is consistent enough in any path, rarely can they be stopped, right? So it's learning to be consistent and learning that your consistency literally is a kind of power that you're creating. So early on, I didn't know that. Number 2, what I didn't know was, and I wasn't aware of it, was I was assigning a meaning to my resistance, to the to like whenever I would bump up against resistance or bump up against anything that would challenge my progress, I would assign it a meaning of, you need to stop, you need to reevaluate, you need to start over, right? And I would always take 2 steps forward and then I would go back to the start line, right? Like, think of it like a runner, right? You start at the starting line, right? And they hit the gun and you take off. And I would always take off, and I would get only so far, and then something would challenge my progress, right? I would face adversity. I would face some sort of resistance. And when I faced that resistance, what I said to myself was, Travell, you need to reevaluate. You need to start over, right? You need to go back to the finish line. I'm sorry, not finish line, but go back to the start line. You need to reassess. But whatever I assigned it, it always meant start over. And that's really what I want to emphasize. It always meant start over. It always meant go back where you started, man. 2 steps forward, go all the way back, take them 2 steps back. Spend a lot of time, right? Internal struggle, internal wrestling, internal questioning, and muster up the inspiration, muster up the motivation to try it again. And I wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of momentum. I wasted a lot of progress by doing that. But what I became aware of was, it wasn't the resistance. It wasn't what was opposing my progress. that made the difference. It was the meaning that I was assigning it. And so I don't know if you are aware of this, because I wasn't at the time, but we get to choose, we get to assign anything a meaning. Nothing has an inherent meaning. Nothing means anything until you give it one, right? And so for me, when I learned, I don't have to assign this the meaning of start over, or, let's reevaluate, or let's soul search. It was a game changer, right? So I began to assign it things such as, and I encourage you to, if that's one of your challenges, is that it always means for you, start over, go back to the beginning. You can assign it things such as, oh my God, I'm making serious progress and this is par for the course. Oh my God, whenever there is a change to happen in my life, I know that resistance shows up, and that just means personal growth. Oh my God, I'm about to break through to another level, or through another dimension, or I'm about to experience radical change because I feel this resistance, and that's just letting me know, that's an indicator that I am becoming something new. I am growing, I am elevating in my life and my capacity. See the difference? It's not that one is true or false. It's just that I get to assign it a meaning. And depending on the meaning that I assign it, it means that I'll either stop, or it means that I'll continue. See, the whole thing about resistance, the whole thing about being met with resistance when you're trying to, stay consistent, is that the resistance, its only goal is to cause you to stop. If you stop, it breaks the momentum, breaks down your capacity that you're trying to create for that power to move you from where you are to where you want to be. Then it wins. Whatever is opposing you, whatever is resisting you, it wins. And you have to start over. And so I want to just encourage you today in those two things out of my own life and my own experience. Number one, your consistency, guys. Understand that consistency is a power. It's a powerhouse. It has the capacity, right, to literally move you and your life circumstances from one place to another, from where you are to where you want to be. It is a power in your life. And then number two, you get to choose the meaning. And you can come up with whatever brilliant, inspiring, motivating meanings you desire, because it doesn't have a meaning until you give it one. And if you are anything like me, then you've been giving it a meaning that's been defeating you, a meaning that's been hitting the pause button on your progress, a meaning that's been discouraging you and starting you to waste a lot of effort and a lot of time. And you can begin today to reassociate a meaning to that resistance, to those things that are trying to stand in your way. It doesn't mean stop. It can mean anything you want it to mean, just as long as it means something that's going to propel you and compel you forward, and it's going to help you to remain consistent. So I pray that this encourages you, inspires you, motivates you, that it adds value to your life, that you find it helpful, that it's something that you can use in your arsenal against inconsistency, right? Love you guys, praying for you guys, believing in you guys. Until next time, Travell C.W. Lynch, Mr. What? I am the possible. Peace.